Module 7, Section 5, Objective 5. We're going to solve percent problems involving a percent increase or decrease. Still percent problems, still going to set it up, but there's one little change on these. Okay, this page explains the difference between what we've been doing and what we're doing on these. Okay, I'm going to explain this page by doing a problem on the next page, if that makes any sense. Okay, so here we go. The average price for a gallon of gas in 1980 was $1.25. Today, a gallon of gas averages $3.45. Find the percent of increase. I wish this was the case. Try $5.45. Okay, so let's draw out the situation. So this is 1980 gas price. Okay. Probably should change my thickness of my writing, but you can deal with it. Here we go. Okay, so today's price is more than that. Quite a bit more, isn't it? Okay, so $1.25. It's going to be, around there somewhere. So today. So this will be 2020. Haha, 2022. I just lost 2 years somewhere. So 2022 price. Okay, they asked, find the percent of increase. So we want to find how far the price increased from 1980 until now. This is the number we're going to use in our equation. Okay, so let's work it out. 1980 price is $1.25. The 2022 price is $3.45. Okay, so we're going to subtract those. So there's a $2.20 increase. $2.20 increase. All right, so that is this amount here. Okay, so now let me write the new equation, or the new sentence rather. Okay, so $2.20 is what percent of $1.25? Because you want to figure out the price of increase. So it's increased from 1980 to get to today. We don't know what the price was yet once we get to today, but if we figure out what the percent increase was from 1980, it increased to get to 2022. Okay, so setting this one up as an algebra problem now. $2.20 is what percent of $1.25? Okay, and because I have decimals, I don't want to use a dot. All right, so divide by $1.25. So 220 divided by $1.25 is 1.76. P represents percent, right? This is a decimal. So to convert it to a percent, you have to move the decimal 2 places over. Okay, so it is 176% of an increase. Okay, let's do the next one. And I missed that one because it was too low on my screen. Okay, next one. Before the recession of 2009, an average home price in Utah was $240,000. After the recession, the average home price was $168,000. And don't we wish that was today again, right? Okay, this time we want the percent of decline, or another way of saying that is decrease, right? anything that means it went down. Okay, so we are going to start with 2009 is this amount. And today, after the recession hit, we don't know what year it was. I'll just say later. Oh, after. Let's use after because it's after the recession. Okay. It was lower, right? It was about here. We want to figure out how far, this is the same as here, right? How far it dropped, and then find the percent. Okay, so the 2009 price was 240, and the after the recession price was 168. Okay, so when I subtract those, I get 72,000 is my difference. Okay, so that is the pink number. It dropped 72,000 to get to the price after the recession. Okay, so you subtract them first. Subtract to get your new number, and then you use the new number with the original amount. Okay, so 72,000 is what percent of, and I'm going to shrink it down a little bit so it'll still fit, 240,000, because that was the original amount. And after this, I'll go back and show you that first page of your notes. Okay, so 72,000 is what percent of 240,000? So to get P by itself, you have to do the opposite. And the opposite of multiply is divide. So those now cancel out. So 72,000 divided by 240,000 is 0.3. Because P represents the percent, I have to move the decimal back 2 places, and I get a 30%, in the words they used, a 30% decline. 30% is good enough. I just put decline so that you know it went down instead of up, right? Okay, so let's take a look now at what they said on this first page. Maybe it'll make more sense now that you've seen a couple problems. Okay, so the percent of increase or decrease is the amount of the increase or decrease over the initial amount. Okay, so the amount of the increase or decrease is what you get when you subtract the two numbers. You want to see how much it changed. Okay, so this represents the changed, or the change in the amount. Up or down, it doesn't matter. It's going to be always positive. If it went down, you're just going to say it was a decrease or a decline. If it went up, it will be an increase. But you always leave it positive, so it's like an absolute value, right? Okay, let's try another couple. In response to a decrease in sales, a company with 1,500 employees reduces the number of employees to 1,230. What is the percent decrease? Okay, so we went from 1,500 down to 1,230. So 1,500 minus 1,230. Okay, we're going to borrow. And this is a 10, and then you have to borrow again. It's a 9, and this is a 10. So 0, 6, 2. So 260 employees is the number of the decrease, but we want the percent of the decrease. So 260 is what percent of the original, and the original is the 1500. Okay, so let's set it up as an equation now. So 260 is what percent of 150? Is will always be the equal, of will always be multiply once you have it like this. Okay, of doesn't always mean times, because here's an of right there. We're not timesing the number of employees. That doesn't mean multiply. So that's where things get a little bit complicated. If you translate directly, you want to get it into that short sentence and then translate it. Okay, so now we're going to divide it by 1500. So P is equal to 260 divided by 1500 on a calculator gives me 0.17, and then the 3's repeat. Okay, it says what is the percent decrease? So boom, boom, it doesn't say round at any specific place. So this is a 17.3%. Technically, it repeats, but you never see that in real life, okay? So you might see 17% because they rounded it. You could see 17.33%, or technically, this is one reason why I like fractions, is it's exactly 1/3%. And you would see that, wouldn't you? Okay. All right. And again, if I'm correcting it, I would take any of those, unless it tells you in the problem to round it to a specific place. Okay, this one. Jose earned $11.50 per hour on his last paycheck. He has received a raise and now will earn $11.96 per hour. What is his percent increase? So we're going to subtract the two, right? $11.96 minus $11.50. And yes, you can do this part on your calculator. You get 46-cent increase. Not great, but it's all right. It's an increase, right? So we want to know 46 cents is what percent of his original amount, which is the $11.50. It's always compared to the original amount. Okay, so now set it up as an equation. I'm going to change colors just so that we can refer back to it easier. 0.46 is what percent of 1150? But now because 1150 has a decimal, right? I don't want to get the dot and the decimal confused, so I'm going to use parentheses. And now we have to solve by dividing. Divide both sides by the same thing, and in this case it's 1150. So 0.46 divided by 1150 is 0.04 evenly. Okay, move the decimal 2 places because it's a percent. That's what we're looking for. And 4% was his raise. Okay. There we go. So really important, the bottom, or not the bottom number, the last number, the of number out here is always the original, where it started before it either increased or decreased.